2 minutes after the top of the 8 o'clock hour in the Central Time Zone. Greetings. How you doing? Welcome into Beyond Ringside Back to Basics. Live at a multiple location station from Studio 1. Yours truly, the Magic City Motor Mouth Fast Study Lane, being joined by tag team partner from BR Live on Sunday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Mark Mabo Bowman. What's up, Echo Meister? God, you're doing it again.
Not me.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out on my side, and I've done everything I can do. There's obviously a glitch in your phone line, dude.
Yeah, it's a glitch in my phone line.
I'm using a brand new computer and brand new wires.
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
What, a brand new computer? Yes, we'll use the broken one. It'll work. There you go. Thank you, everybody listening in through BeyondRingside.com, as well as the Beyond Ringside mobile app, available for Amazon, Android, and BlackBerry. Thank you to everybody listening through TuneIn, as well as Shoutcast and Ustream this evening, and all the other various sources we have available. First off, Mark, been a while. How's everything on your side of the board, bud? Brother, hope everything's going smoothly.
Well, it's been a while because you didn't want to do a show Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Football. Super Bowl.
What that means a damn in pro wrestling.
Did you not watch social media this past Sunday during the Super Bowl?
No. What, is the XFL coming back? I'm all right with that.
There you go. That would actually be a beautiful thing. What in the hell is Tyrus wearing on his head? Impact, of course, airing so-called live right now. And love the dress Rebby's got on. Matt actually still wearing a suit, so I'm okay with that. We're good. Matt Hardy continues to look like a champion. I'm good with that. First,
you mean Rebby, I got Awesome Kong fired Hardy?
Yeah. I don't know about all that. I really don't. I've not really followed up on that story. I guess that's bad of me, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the 800-pound gorilla in the room, and I'm going to go ahead and sit back and...
No. Poor choice words.
Yeah, I can do that, though.
No, that's just poor choice words.
As it stands, for those who caught WWE Raw last night, of course, you caught the factor that Daniel Bryan...
Day rocks.
New
Day rocks.
No, that was actually the table for 3 with New Day on it that was really damn good.
Yeah, that was like the first one.
I know, it was on last night after the live broadcast from... Yeah.
By the way, I just noticed this because I'm kind of going back and watching it. We'll get to the Daniel Bryan situation in a minute.
Okay.
But I just really noticed the clips and everything. It actually made it on. I think it made it on Botchamania too. It did make it on Botchamania, and I think this was in Birmingham. So correct me if I'm wrong, but was it not New Day versus Reigns and Ambrose?
And they were the Grammy Award winning?
No, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, the Grammy. No.
There was one time in particular where Lillian Garcia actually introduced...
No, not that, but that did make that on there. That did make that on there.
I think it was the Usos she calls Grammy Award winning too.
No, she called Usos.
That's what I said. I think it was the Usos that got mentioned.
Oh, it ain't that. I'm talking about New Day. Did they take on?
In the main event, yeah. It was 2-on-2.
That was the main event, Usos versus New Day.
Correct.
In Birmingham.
Yes.
Are you sure that was the main event?
If I remember correctly, it was.
You should. You were there. I was medicated.
Yeah, I know. You were hiding in bed.
Well, I'm trying to remember. It's whenever Reigns and Ambrose took on the New Day.
Okay.
It was on a Raw. So it was either the Birmingham Raw or the Raw after the Rumble.
Yes, it was Birmingham. I've got pictures in front of me right now.
New Day took on... Yeah, because you popped because they said Ambrant or whatever.
Okay. Continue.
Anyway, I just now went back and watched some of the clips. It's when... Oh, yeah, that's right. It was Birmingham because they were talking about... they were doing the fan fiction between Ambrose and Reigns. When Big E had Ambrose in the abdominal stretch and he started spanking his butt to the...
Yeah, no, I saw that.
I just now went back and saw that, and first of all, I started laughing uncontrollably.
Well, that's something that's right up your alley, is seeing somebody get spanked like that.
But I sat there and looked. If you look carefully, because I went back, I slowed the clips down, I had to watch it. Ambrose has to turn his head and look down, and you could still see him laughing. And that cracked me up even more because I don't think he was expecting that to happen.
Well, you've got to remember something, and I'm going to give you this one to consider. Go back a while when the Shield was still in play, and the night that Ambrose was on both Piper's Pit and got nailed with Damien at the end of the show, and you could not get the fecal-eating grin off of the face of Dean Ambrose. He would not stop smiling. And I agree. The man's got a hilarious sense of humor. If for those who followed him for a while, you know he's sick, you know he's twisted, you know he's warped, and you know he's funny as hell. And he has a very strong penchant for when something cracks him up, it will stick with him for a while. And it's hard for him to keep a straight face in certain circumstances. And the crowd response, I was at the BJCC, the Legacy Arena, when Big E Langston...
With a fully paid ticket.
Yes, of course. Hashtag NASF. I mean, I was there watching the scenario as it unfolded, and from that vantage point, yeah, I mean, I wasn't paying much attention to Ambrose's face more than I was the simple fact that, lo and behold, I was trying to figure if I was watching the New Day or the Exotic Ones, but or somebody doing homage to the Exotic Adrian Street. Still one of my favorites of all time. I don't care. Adrian Street and Miss Linda, two genuine class acts in the world of professional wrestling. Love to get them on the show sometime.
Nobody's, you know.
But yeah.
Nobody's pooping on them, don't worry.
Oh, I know that. No, if they're smart, they never will try to poop on them. Adrian Street and Linda are two of the best. I mean, I'm sorry. Adrian's cool as hell. But worked with him before. Known him for years. Tremendous individual. Linda's always dynamite. But, yeah.
Oh, wait, Eddie. Hey, hold on. You might want to pick that up.
What?
Those two names you just dropped.
Oh, okay.
Make sure you pick those up.
Okay, I will. Okay, continue where you were.
But no, I just noticed, like I said, I just noticed that. And you know, then it kind of leads to, you know, like you were talking about the table for three. And then, have you been, what is it, Ride Along? Is that the new series?
Yeah.
Did you watch the first
No.
episode, not last week, but the week before, where it was New Day in the car?
Nope, haven't seen it yet.
I highly encourage you to watch that. I mean, last night's was okay with R-Truth and Renee Young, Summer Rae, and then Sheamus and Wade Barrett in the other car. But yes, I don't. I'm not trying to say they need to feature New Day more, because New Day gets they get their time in the spotlight, but they can do so much. They can do even more non-in-ring stuff with them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, it's even funnier just watching Xavier Woods, Austin Creed, whatever. His up, up, down, down.
Right.
But yeah, I think I would definitely, you know, just to see how it goes, I would give them 3. And I hope the candle doesn't burn out too soon. You know, people get tired of them. But I would definitely give them like a little web series or something, because they are beyond entertaining.
Well, therein lies the funny part, because remember, different people have different tastes and different levels as to what they appreciate and how they appreciate it. So what may be absolutely hilarious for you may be overkill for somebody else, and what may be over the top funny, knee slapper funny, and I'm going back for that phrase, may leave you sitting back going, what the hell just happened? So it's really a
well, I'm just going to go ahead and say, obviously, sales, merchandise sales, and, you know, segment numbers You know, they don't lie, dude.
Well, I've also got to sit back and say this because I did not watch the entire episode last night. I have not had time. When I first walked into my home and saw, turned on the television, the first thing I saw was The Miz. It's like, okay, fine, mute, going to the bathroom, back in a minute. And yeah, I missed part of the Jericho sketch. But by the same token, it's kind of like you've seen one highlight reel, you've seen 100 of them. You've seen one.
No, see, that's where you're wrong, because you said you muted it and you turned it down. You went to do what you got to do. It actually started off as Miz TV.
I know,
and I thought that was kind of funny because Jericho sat there and did the thing and had them roll out. He said, something like, this is going to be the highlight reel, and that's when they rolled out the lowered the Geritron 5,000.
The obscenely expensive Geritron 5,000, yeah.
5,050.
Okay.
And I thought that was hilarious how he basically hijacked it from The Miz, which I mean, he's one of those that, in my opinion, just overstayed his welcome. Great. Was he good in the Santa's Little Helper? Santa's Little Helper. Yeah, I thought he was really good in that. I'm not even going to lie to you. And I'm not, me, I'm not the biggest Miz fan in the world anyway. But I thought he did a really good job. Also want to see Morris Page dressed up as a hot elf. But that's beside the point. But the whole, I'm just, the weird Jedi robes or whatever the hell he's wearing, and the whole, my head goes up, your mouth goes shut. It's just getting ridiculous now. But I want to say this. That's the other thing. Him and Ziggler were the other ride-along with New Day in the first episode. And he was actually pretty good just being himself. But it's not like the I hate this person heat because, they're a bad guy and I want to boo them. Like, just his presence. I'm like, no. I'm like you said, I got to go pee. Or, stick leeches on my eyeballs. I'm serious.
That was funny.
That's seriously how I feel whenever I see, whenever I know that he's, coming up on this segment or whatever. I'm just like, I can tolerate him, wrestling or whatever. I could deal with that. I could tolerate that. It's just when he's talking, I'm like, where are the fish sticks? But that's just me.
I haven't used fish stick match or fish stick segment in so long. Thank you for bringing that one back. But
I'm just saying. But anyway, yeah, there's something. Yeah, I missed the first 30 minutes because I record too many things on Monday night, so I had to miss the first 30 minutes, and I was kind of kicking myself because I'm like, oh crap, man, I'm gonna miss. What's that little guy? Daniel Bryan retire. Sorry. See how fast we forget him, kids? He retired last night, and I'm like, oh, what's that kid's name? The kid, Shawn Michaels kid there. What's his name?
Exactly. No, but like I was starting to say a minute ago, and I think you misunderstood something I was saying. When I first walked in, turned on TV, saw Miz TV, muted TV, went to bathroom, came back out. It turned into the highlight reel, and I'm sitting back going, well, you've seen one Miz TV, you've seen one highlight reel. You know something's going to break down. You know something's going to go kerflooey. Okay, fine. So I'll just go make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich while I turn up the volume. And I was pretty much on it. But I've got to say,
you get to see AJ come out in his weird gospel music.
Yeah, I heard the music hit, and for some reason, I thought it was Brother Devon coming back.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm too keen on his entrance music, but hell, we all remember when Big Show first debuted, and he was using the "We're Big Show," and now look at it. I mean, it's synonymous with it. Of course, we've been having to listen to it for 15 years now?
Yeah, pretty much. Or
more than that. God, dude, do you realize that?
Yes, I know. He's been there that long, and I appreciate the fact that he's had that longevity. This is something I'm going to sit back and say. I'm going to draw heat in my home market of Birmingham, Alabama, for one simple reason. When I was at Monday Night Raw, and this is something I haven't brought up until just now. I believe you buy your ticket, okay, fine. You can yell for who you want to, cheer, boo, whatever. But when you try to do something that is utterly disrespectful to somebody who is out there trying to entertain you, such as start a chant, please retire. It's
I mean,
that's
as much as, and I hate to cut you off on that one, but like,
no, you don't. It's what you do. It's what we do. We cut each other off.
I know it gets under your skin, and that's why I like to do it.
I know.
But I mean, like in all honesty, as much as I've said on this show, and this is the only reason I'd cut you off for this point is, as much as I have stated on this show that he needs to retire, that Kane needs to go ahead and retire, that Orton might as well get ready to retire if he keeps getting hurt.
Yeah, really.
I mean, will I come on there and say that on this show? Yes. Why? Because as Eddie uses this phrase, I guess technically this phrase, it's an open forum. I'm sorry, I can't really say because I'm starting to get a little stopped up. I was fine this morning until I took a nap. Or open forum. You've used that term on more than one occasion about this show.
Right.
So, it's my God-given right as an American to come on here and say, yeah, I think they should retire. Would I would I chant that during their match?
Nope.
No, that's disrespectful. That's like, imagine, most of these, ignorant, wonder on firing hillbillies, if they're at the AutoZone or the McDonald's or whatever, and somebody came in while they're, frying their French fries and started going, please retire, how would it feel?
I know.
So, I mean, we've been yelling that at you for years, and they're just, I don't know why the WWE fans are finally stealing that from us, but...
Well, you may get your wish sometime soon.
Oh, don't say that.
Yeah.
No. Who else am I going to cut off in the middle of a conversation?
Well, I'm not talking about here. I'm talking about somewhere else.
Oh, well, no. Because then where am I going to sneak into when I'm supposed to be at work?
I'm not talking about that either. You'll figure it out.
Oh, no, I just did. I was like, wait a minute. Oh.
It may take you 18 or it may take you 15 days, but you'll figure it out.
Wait, it's going to happen in 15 days?
No, I was right the first time. It may take 18 days, but you'll figure out what I'm talking about soon.
I've already figured it out. That's
good. I've made veiled comments that changes are probably going to be in the air. So
we thought you were just talking about your socks.
No.
Wait, like
I change those every day. I change those every day.
Like all together?
Probably.
Do I have to go beat up certain individuals now?
No.
Okay.
We're losing everybody. Let's get back to the point.
All right. Oh, we're doing the show?
No, it's not imaginary. It's real for a change.
Oh, shoot. I thought we were just talking.
This is not production chat. 20 minutes after the top of the hour in the 8 o'clock time in the Central Time Zone. 20 minutes after 6 on the West Coast. I was about to say East. Son of a gun. Fast Eddie Lane, Mark Mabo Bowen will be on Ringside Back to Basics. Everything on the table, nothing off the record, but a lot of veiled commentary here and there. All right, let's go ahead and shift it over. Let's go ahead and bring it back into play. I started to bring it up, and we're going to go ahead and go in that direction at this point.
Well, before we go in that direction,
go ahead.
Well, this kind of leads into a guest you'll be having later on, because we were alluding to earlier about how unhinged one Dean John Moxley Ambrose is. You could yourself ask your guest later on, one Phil Stumper with CZW.
Yeah.
As the Français says the W. About how insane John Moxley is. And you've got to be insane to call out and pick a fight with Brock Lesnar and then turn around and punch him in the ding-ding. Because that's what he did. He punched him in the ding-ding.
Okay.
So, when you speak with Mr. Stumper, ask him if he could maybe regale you with any stories of one John Moxley and his insanity.
We will see what happens.
We shall see. But then, yeah, something else happened on. That's what it was. So I know you've been wanting to get to it. The Dudleys turning on the Usos and turning their backs on the fans. What the hell? What the serious hell? And Big E blew on the spot. That's beside the point. My friend Corey made sure to message me and point that out to me. You remember Corey from Buffalo Wild Wings?
Yes, very well. And I thought you were going to try to get him to come on sometime.
Well, you got to remember he works that shift that I used to work. So, but plus he does his own thing. He's a rogue. He's a wild one.
Right.
But yeah, he messaged me this morning or whatever, and he's like, "Mark, did you see Big E blow that spot?" And I was like, "Yes, Corey, I did." I wouldn't say he necessarily blew it, but he definitely forgot what he was doing at first. Because his big old butt rolled out and was like, oh, wait, crap, I got to get back in there.
Yeah, really.
Because they said you could hear one of the Usos yell, Big E! So, but you know what? When you're as adorable as Big E, you can get away with that. But yeah, so the Dudleys turned. What the serious crap.
Did nobody really see this coming after a while? Because they're not really doing anything in the tag team division right now with the Dudley boys, and everything focused back onto the Usos for the 93rd time inside the last month. So, of course, you're going to have to build up situations, and you've got the New Day that's floating all over the place, and they are the tag team champions right now, and the belts are copper, not gold, or bronze, not gold, 2 weeks ago. And
looks like giant pennies to me.
Say what?
Looks like, seriously, it looks like one of those, when you take a penny and a quarter and put it into one of those, penny stamp machines at any amusement park. That's what those damn belts look like. Looks like somebody, flattened some pennies.
Makes perfect sense to me too.
Yeah. So, well, if that's the case, if they're going to move the Usos and the Dudleys into as the kids say, a program, then I wonder who that leaves the New Day to work with.
Just about everybody else in the damn locker room.
Well, I mean, one viable because apparently they've broken up Titus and Dingus
again. Which to me makes. I'm sorry, folks. To me, that makes no sense. You're going to put them together. You're going to break them up. You're going to put them back together just to break them up again. I mean, this is not.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
See, when Eddie gets real quiet and goes, no, go ahead. He's mad because I cut him off. But no, what I was going to say was, I think, and you can, as you like to say, agree or disagree. Do you think it may be because of some of the comments that Darren Young has made in the past about, certain situations? I can't remember what it was, but I remember he kind of got a little bit of heat ski there from something he said. And then that's when, they kind of pulled him off TV. And then he had his little injury or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. But it was never specifically said what he was injured with or for. So do you think maybe that's their way of punishing him? Not them, because obviously Titus has become, captain spokesman for, dads and homeless kids and reading, and which is great. I think that's great.
Well, it's conceivable. See, and this is the thing that really bothers me, because I'm going to go ahead and go back to one particular point that I like to bring up every once in a while. WWE is Monday Night Raw is a television show. It works if you have a focus group which understands the concept of what the show is. If you have 55 people in a room working a dial system who don't understand pro wrestling and sports entertainment, and you're asking them to gauge a television show like Monday Night Raw, they're not going to have a damn clue half the time. You have people that genuinely find the New Day interesting and entertaining and know nothing about wrestling. These guys are nuts. That's what they'll say. Love them. They're crazy. That's what they'll say. But yet you have the overt football reference of the primetime players, which even more people won't get. And this is something that I'm really considering saying, because it's really a peculiar circumstance. Maybe they just don't want to have two franchise teams that are African American that are that damn over. I don't know. It is only a hypothesis. Look,
I can see where you I can see where you can make that correlation there.
Titus Young and Darren O'Neal make a phenomenal tag team.
What was that name again?
Titus Young and Darren Young and Titus O'Neal. Son of a gun.
I was like, okay, I thought you were trying to be funny at first, and that's why I said it. Oh boy! All right, there. Thank you, Darren O'Neal.
Thank you. Right. Darren Young and Titus O'Neal make a good team, and they have made a good team. But the fact of the matter is, and this is going to be something. And folks, I tell you what, I'm going to be brutally honest, and I'm going to be totally blunt. You ain't got a hair on your ass if you listen to this and don't find a way to get in touch with me on social media to give me an opinion. At Fast Eddie Lane on Twitter, Facebook.com/Fast Eddie Lane, Beyond Ringside at gmail.com. Considering the audience that is in play, and I'm not going to jump around and scream the R word. I'm not even going to sit here and say the R word.
Refund?
No, racism.
Oh,
or race.
I was going to say retard?
Yeah, there you go, because that's what some of the
we say that about a lot of stuff that comes across.
Oh, God, yes. But I think it's peculiar that you don't see the primetime players, R-Truth, and the New Day all getting a well-deserved push. Does the front office, does creative feel that if you get all three of them going on a program at the same time, that it will take too much of a reaction away from the others? When R-Truth is hot, R-Truth is hot. You can't stop him until you just pull him out of a program. The primetime...
That dude is funny.
Oh, yes. Ron Killings has got one of the best personalities in pro wrestling. And like I said, I know we're getting a little bit heavy here, and I know we're up against the bottom of the hour break. So tell you what, folks, hang tight. We're going to go to the bottom of the hour break. Mark and I will be right back in just a moment. This is Beyond Ringside, Back to Basics on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
This is Dale the Demon Torborg, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
When planning your next party or special event, insist on the best. Full Range Entertainment is a professional entertainment company providing a full range of services. From professional disc jockeys and MCs to catering and photography, when the details of your special day must be perfect, call us first. Wedding receptions, corporate parties, school functions, birthday celebrations, and more. We also have Birmingham's largest selection of karaoke tracks available. With over 40 years combined experience, Full Range Entertainment can provide you with the talent and professionalism you need and deserve to make your next event one you'll never forget. For more information on the full range of services we offer, call 533-HITS. That's 533-HITS. Or check us out on our website at fullrangeentertainment.com.
This is Merciless Ray Mercer, Olympic gold medalist and board member of Find the Dream, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
The To Be Determined show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Monroe, Fast Eddie Lane, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here live every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on beyondringside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
This is Danny Cage from the world famous Monster Factory, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
This is the seven-figure deal Ace Rockwell, and as long as Wicked Nemesis isn't on the show, please listen. You're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
All right, 26 before the top of the hour on this Tuesday night, 9th day of February. Yes, in less than 1 week, the most meaningless day of the year, Valentine's Day. Look, I'm going to sit back and say this. I say the same thing about Valentine's Day. Hold on, flip the microphone around, my fault. I say the same thing about Valentine's Day that I say about Christmas, that if you are cool with somebody 7 days a week, you don't have to pick a special day to kiss their ass.
Every day is a special day for me.
Of course.
You want cheese on your grits?
Sure, please, thank you. Live on this Tuesday night, Fast Eddie Lane, Mark Mabo Bowman. Mabo, do we have the missing persons reports anywhere close?
Huh?
Do we have missing persons reports anywhere close?
Who's missing?
You were talking. We were.
I was going to say, is Perry Saturn off his meds again?
Probably. No, you were making a reference to 5 people who went see it. So I was doing the segue over for people who have gone disappearing.
You might want to recharge that segue because it broke down halfway here.
Only because you didn't catch where I was going.
You talking about missing people? I'm talking about people who quit. Bull Dempsey, Marcus Louis,
Right.
Sylvester Lafort. I can't say his name without saying it like Enzo does. Sylvester Lafort, and 2 guys I'd never heard of. These were must have been like NXT house shows, like Job Squad or something. I'd never heard of these guys, to be honest with you. But but the biggest one to me was, well, remember they had the Lafort and Marcus Louis. They had that good run with Enzo and Cass, and then Marcus Louis lost his hair and he kind of looked like a miniature version of Kane. He did, and they had Lafort managing Billy Kay. He was managing one of the newer ladies that they called up from Australia. I think it was Billy Kay that he was kind of managing. But yeah, the biggest one, Bull Dempsey just up to quit because they did not get. I think they asked for their releases. Obviously you can't just up and quit, especially if you believe the rumors about Daniel Bryan that were starting circulating before his retirement announcement. But yeah, they were doing the bullfit thing. And, well, first they had him, like he was undefeated, and then they put him up against, Baron Corbin, and then Corbin won. But then they started doing the bullfit thing, which was kind of a waste of his talents, if you ask me. But it kept him in the spotlight. And then he came out wearing the robe, looking like a new age Dr. Death. I thought they were going to push him big then, but yet they were still having him lose. They could have done so much with him.
I believe they could have too.
Yeah, and then now he's on the independents. And you want to know how I found out about it?
How'd you find out about it?
I found out about it from on Facebook from Eddie Kingston, the King of Diamonds, the Last of a Dying Breed.
Right.
Because he posted Eddie Kingston. He was talking about either Eddie Kingston versus Bull Dempsey, or Eddie Kingston teaming up with Bull Dempsey. He was like, I'm begging somebody to book this match. Either have me team with him, or have me in a match against him. And I was like, what's going on? And then that's when I started scrolling down more, and then people were like, he had left. This is before the Lafort and Louis had said they were leaving. And I was like, what? And the reason why I say that is because, well, first of all, if you listened to Taz before he went weekly or daily, he had Bull Dempsey on there, and he actually went to Taz's finishing school. Back when Taz had a finishing school. But, I'd actually had a little bit of interaction with Dempsey on Twitter when he first started showing up on NXT, because he was saying that, they were saying he was the last of a dying breed, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, you might want to say something to Eddie Kingston about that, because that's his phrase. And Bull Dempsey was like, I ain't got no, I've known King for years. He's okay with it. I'm like, are you sure about that? But, yeah, I was kind of honestly surprised to see them let Bull Dempsey go. Which I think now, though, since he's got that, not necessarily just that NXT stamp, but that I've been on, I guess, and I use air quotes saying this, but
right.
I've been on TV, because, obviously when you've got that NXT name brand on you and you've been on the, TV, if you can call it network television, but, I think that he's actually going to be making his way around the independent circuit. I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's going to be great. Not only for the shows he's booked on, but it's going to be great for him because, it's going to, give him even more seasoning. And, I think, to me, I kind of grew to like Bull Dempsey. And I think it's going to, I think he's going to be, this is actually a good thing for him. So, but.
Well, remember over on February 5th, a couple of days ago, he did come back and say, after he made the announcement on his Twitter feed, which he's now changed his name to Bull James, but kept the little blue check mark, smart man.
There's a lot of people that are like that.
Of course. He said, I'm available for bookings, appearances, birthdays, bar mitzvahs, and everything in between. Book bulldempsey@gmail.com is the email address.
And I'm not saying that I may or may not have sent an email, but I may or may not have sent an email.
Well, hope you did.
I didn't. I'm just saying that.
You did not, or you did?
I did not.
Okay. Yeah, because he originally tweeted out just 1 minute before, he said, it's been real in NXT. Amazing group of coaches and co-workers and a hell of a boss. Thank you for the opportunity, Triple H. See you down the road.
Yep.
And, with all due, I'm going to sit back and say, there comes a point where some people it is for and other people it is not for.
Okay.
So, yeah, definitely. So, folks, I'll tell you what. and you said it was Kingston himself who was trying to get Dempsey booked.
And he still is. He still is on his Facebook and his Twitter. He was like, hashtag, King Bull or, Bull Kings trying to come up with a name for their tag team.
The Bullish Kings.
No.
The Regal Bulls.
Regal?
The Royal Bulls.
Royal?
Kingston.
Okay, you made my head hurt. Stop.
Okay, fine. Next topic.
Speaking of people with head injuries who are having to no longer be in the ring.
Yeah, really. Continue.
Somebody hit the overrun last night.
And then some.
I know, right? Like, I looked up in the middle of the speech through tears, not going to lie, was crying. But I looked up and I was crying. I was like, this is beautiful. Wait, what the hell time is it? Oh, wow.
It's 10:20 Central.
No, it was like 10:30.
Actually, I thought the overrun went to 10:20 Central Time, and then they moved it over to the network.
No, dude, I swear it was like 10:30 when I looked up.
Right.
He was still talking.
Oh, by the way,
it was getting very close to 10:30. It was 10:27.
Okay.
But yeah, it was well past their normal 10:05, 10:10.
Right.
Yeah, it was like if it was not 10:30, it was within a minute or two of 10:30 when I looked up. Because I was like, oh wow, because I kept waiting for him to pull the Mr. T and have Kane come out there and just tell him, be like, okay, we got to move this along.
Yeah, really.
But, it's and then he had just released his Tide commercial, I guess, during the Super Bowl. I don't know, but that's what he's going to do, kids. Sadly to tell you guys, he's Daniel Bryan's stepping away to go be a Tide spokesperson.
Works for me.
Yeah, swirling amidst the whole, all these other doctors have cleared him, but the WWE doctor wouldn't clear him, and then there was the rumor going around, and it could be true. We don't know. We don't work behind the scenes. We're not certain individuals, but somebody said that he got ready to retire or wanted out and Vince wouldn't let him because it was, he was out for X amount of time. So it was kind of like the thing where Vince pulled with Ray, and like, no, you've been out this long, so we're just going to extend your contract this long. There's always the rumors of contracts and everything, and
right, the same thing they did with Mysterio, Punk, and a few others.
Yeah. So, but all that aside, I just think, it sucks because pretty much when from the time I've always liked the work of back when he was American Dragon and all that stuff. I thought he was he wasn't really my cup of tea when he was on the Independents. And even when he showed up in the WWE and he had that, his little baby face. Literally, he had his baby face. He didn't show when he was shaving and everything. And I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. And then, we choked Justin Roberts. And then he came back. And I was like, okay, well, take Daniel Bryan. That's good. It's an indie guy. I respect that. He's, at that point, I think he'd made his way up to the U.S. title.
I believe so.
Yeah, and I said, okay, well, I can respect that. And I liked his work. Don't get me wrong, I always liked his work. Not necessarily, I never went out of my way to purchase anything. But if I saw a Daniel Bryan match or a Bryan Danielson match, I would watch it when he was Daniel Bryan. If he was on, I would be like, that's, and I know I've no point in saying or no reason to be saying this, but I was like, since I'm a huge, I enjoy independence. I was like, oh, there's one of our guys. Because that's how I looked at it. There was one of our guys. Independent, same thing with Punk. There was one of our guys. Because, diehard independent fan, one of our guys is making it onto the big stage. So I always, at least, out of respect for where he came from in the independents, he wasn't one of Vince's, musclehead football players or fitness models. I was like, okay, cool. But when he really started with the whole yes, well, not the yes movement, but when it was, he won when he really won the Money in the Bank, and won it and was like yes, and then the whole thing when leading up to the 10-second match with Kane or Sheamus at Mania and all that, and then he rolled into the tag team with Kane, team yes, team no, team hell no, all that stuff. To me, that's when I really, because it was almost like he was coming into his own and having fun. That's when I really started, started watching Daniel Bryan, and it wasn't just the technical style that I appreciated. It was the funny side, the comedic side, the lighthearted side, this is how I can be. And then when everything just snowballed through the whole yes movement and into WrestleMania, and then, and beyond and all that, that's when I was just like, well, heck yeah.
And you're not even mentioning the factor of hug it out.
Well, when I said the team hell no, that was...
I know. But I don't always put the therapy sessions with team hell no.
Huh?
I don't always associate the team building and the hug it out thing as a direct. Okay, even though it's a direct result of Team Hell No, I think that they pretty much started to fizzle on the Team Hell No set, and it was DB and Kane at that point.
Well, no, that's how they were known. Though was Team Hell No when they were going through the sessions.
And something I just really realized, we have missed the Daniel Bryan segment on ESPN SportsCenter with Jonathan Coachman.
Well, you just said 2 words right there, or 3 words, with Jonathan Coachman. So there you go. Don't worry,
Coach.
I'm sure when you watch SmackDown, they'll play it 37 times in a row.
Either that, or they'll play it overnight tonight during the 19 replays of SportsCenter.
Yeah, so I ain't no worry about that. That's why I wasn't too busy. That's why I wasn't too worried about missing the first 30 minutes of Raw, because if it's ever anything important, they replay it. They replay it ad nauseum, like they did. By the way, Brock Lesnar threw a table. Who throws a table? Since we're past the hour, I could say that was a dick move. You don't throw a table at somebody. That's a dick move. Everybody knows that. But back to Daniel Bryan. Did you did you flip over to the network to watch the?
No, I was not able to.
Okay, well, I flipped over and they actually started playing Ride Along, and I was like, "What the crap? Hold on!" So I had to go back out and like, blah blah blah. But I watched it, and it wasn't really too much. It wasn't anything too groundbreaking from what you saw when it ended.
Right.
You know, I thought it was sweet that Brie came out, and he kind of figured she was, since she wasn't with Alicia Fox during the match. You know, but I thought it was, you know, sweet that she came out and they hugged. And dude, well, what was it Daniel Bryan said exactly, that he was like, that's what Bree's going to be saying tonight?
No, but yeah, when it came down to it, Daniel said that he and Bree wanted to start having kids real soon. Crowd started chanting yes. He turned around and said, and that's what Bree says every night, and that's what she said chant was based on.
No, I swear I thought he said something else before the people started going yes, yes, yes. I swear he said it's something else, and that's what he said. That's what Bree's going to be saying. But anyway, I thought that was just hilarious too. And in my mind, you know, when he was, putting over Bree as his wife and doing all that, I was like, you know, he was getting all emotional when he was talking about Conor, and rightfully so, because you know he played a big part in the Conor Mahalik thing and all that. You know, he's putting all like I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, you know, that's sweet or whatever. And in the back of my mind, I'm sitting there going, oh, he's going to be getting so much Bree taco tonight. It's not even going to be funny. That's how I am. I'm like, yeah. He's getting laid. But, you know, I thought it was sweet that she came out there. But the stuff that happened after, literally, it was him. I guess she stayed in the ring for a minute, and I mean, it was great. He didn't have to do this. But he went around the entire barricade, hugging fans, you know, slapping hands, got to Garcia. Lillian Garcia gave her a hug, went behind the little cut that they have for production.
Do me a favor. Hold on. I have to do this. He just said, Bree and I want to have kids real soon.
That's what Bree says all the time.
That's what it was.
Thank you.
No, but it's exactly what he said. It was like,
I was actually going to try to get to the "That's what she said" chant. That is, I believe, the first time in recorded history that I know of that anybody has ever gotten a "That's what she said" chant on national TV.
I would have to agree. But it's just the fact that he went kind of dirty for a minute. He was like, I was like, that's kind of gross. I think you just made it icky, D-Bra. You just made it icky.
You just made it Mabo awkward.
Oh, yeah. Now I know how everybody else feels when I say things. But, but you know, he went by and, you know, and it was kind of weird. It just kind of weird hearing Cole say this, but he hugged Michael Cole. And he goes, and he said something like, I love you, kid, or he's like, I'm proud of you, kid. I'm like, hold on, Michael Cole. Who you call a kid? I mean, I know you might be older than him, but still. It just sounds weird for somebody who's had a 16-plus year career in pro wrestling. No, hold on, was it 14, 18? Anyway.
Almost 16.
Well, yeah. Well, to hear Michael Cole call him a kid, I'm just like, I'm not saying it was a bad thing. It was just kind of weird for me. I was just like, what? Kid? Seriously? But, you know, and he hugged Saxton and hugged JBL. And that's all he did was he just went around, hugged everybody. And you could kind of see at that point the ramp had filled up with everybody. You know, everybody was standing out there, like almost the entire locker room. Except for the Wyatts, for obvious reasons. But, Kevin Owens, one of the first people front and center, and wearing a New Day shirt. That made me laugh. But
okay, that's funny.
Yeah, I would love to see Kevin Owens in the New Day you know, as an 8-man tag. I think it'd be hilarious. But I mean, it was funny to see Mark Henry as it. But you know, he came up and went up the ramp, did the yes. The locker room did the yes. He hugged Vince. And maybe I'm just reading too much into it with my, you know, whole conspiracy theorist. But it seemed like it was a distant hug. It didn't seem like a too true of a hug. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you get a chance and you can find it, watch it and just, you know, we can, you know, extrapolate what you want and we can discuss it next Sunday. Live, 6 p.m. is when we do interviews. 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside, Back to Basics. Oh, wait, this is Back to Basics. What's the other
Sunday
one?
is BR Live.
BR Live, yes, PBR Live. And you can, take what you will from that, but I just thought it was something seemed weird about the hug, and he didn't really hug or shake Triple H because Triple H and Stephanie were out there. I don't think he really made too much of an acknowledgement, and then he kind of just blew past everybody. You know what I'm saying?
It had probably finally gotten to him because there was a picture circulating.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking last night until I saw that picture because he like the Dudleys were kind of the last ones you could see them. You know how the entrance kind of curves where it's got the LED screen, it kind of curves and then leads back to Gorilla.
Right.
Like they were the last two standing there, and they kind of patted him on the back. He didn't really acknowledge him, but then he goes straight back there. And last night I was like, well, that's kind of weird. Until I see said picture that you're talking about of him squatting down, almost in fetal position, crying, or one could only assume that he was crying. And then that's why I was like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. And I'm sure Eddie will have that picture up on something.
I think I've already shared it. But it's been, it was a tumultuous situation, and there's a lot that I'm going to say on a little bit later on in the show. Going 5 minutes before the top of the hour in every time zone. I just haven't said which time zone. Ha ha ha! Slated to be joined by a good friend and co-host, or occasional co-host, Phil Stamper, in just a few minutes here on Back to Basics. Slated to be joined by Shane Knowles, who I just got in contact with me, was doing trivia this evening, and trivia is going to be wrapping up for him in just a few minutes because the location he's in is expecting more of the white, flaky, powdery, melty stuff. And they're afraid it's going to stick this time. To which I'm going to sit back and say, share, damn it. I want some snow down here in central Alabama. I really do. That's all I'm going to say. I don't blame you. Huh?
I don't blame you.
There you go.
Hell, I was sitting outside of St. Vincent's Hospital on my day job this morning at like 6:30, waiting for a crane to show up so we can put this air conditioning unit on the roof. And I'm sitting there just watching it, just watching it fall. And I'm like, what do I do? Because nobody else from the crew was supposed to get there till 7, and I'm like, should I just go back to the shop with this? What should I do? So some snow that sticks to the ground, but I don't want anybody to get trapped anywhere on the interstates. But if we could have what we had about 2 years ago, that would be great. So
I'm not really worried about accumulation or anything like that. And by the way, before we go to the top of the hour, I'm going to go ahead, before I toss to Bowman for last call, I'm going to sit back and say, I am happy. Okay, look, I don't read spoilers or anything of that ilk 9 times out of 10, so I like to see things that happen organically. And I am actually very happy, smiling in more ways than one, because earlier this evening and right now in the current segment of Impact, which is airing at 8:56 Central Time, they have brought back the Boozer Cruiser for beer money. I'm happy.
Oh, no, they didn't. Did they really?
Yes, they did.
I was kind of worried about James Storm driving that as much as he drank.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of like when Stone Cold used to drive anything into the arena.
Like a Zamboni?
Yeah, or the truck. That monster truck or whatever, the time he hooked the light. No, that was the Zamboni. He hooked the light stand.
The light tree, yeah. Tell you what,
light tree,
let's go ahead and take it out. Brother, go in, last call. Final thoughts for Mark Mabo Bowman.
No, I'm good.
You sure?
No.
And I know you don't do. I know you don't do shameless plugs.
Nah.
All right. We'll tell you. What,
let's see. Do I have any final thoughts? National Pro Wrestling Day. Heard went over pretty well. Don't know how much they raised, but are you ready for this?
Yep.
The event went 5 hours.
Good.
And they said it had 2 intermissions, and they said at one point, Quack and Ophidian were just like, hey, who wants to get in the ring and learn some stuff real quick?
There you go.
Yeah, and also, congratulations to Chikara co-founder and director of Fun, Lightning White Quackenbush. He is down in Orlando right now at NXT as a guest trainer.
Thank God.
And see, a lot of people are like, well, that's because of Sarah Del Rey, which is probably true. But you also forget Robbie Brookside is down there.
Yep.
So there you go. Plus Cesaro could always probably put in a good word.
Oh yeah.
As well as several other people, because and there was actually a discussion on Babs, good friend of mine that used to do the Chikara in 15 minutes, and she now does work with Excellence Pro and a couple of other promotions around the Pennsylvania area. She had posted something about that, and then there was a lot of us that were like, and I even posted my story, a little briefly about how if it wasn't for Mike Quackenbush and Chikara, they were there during not only a dark time for me during pro wrestling, where I almost got out, but also, it was not one of the best times in my life at that time either. And there was other people that shared their stories, like, if it wasn't for Quack, like a lot of people, they're like, if it wasn't for Quack, I would have never stepped in the ring. Or, one guy even straight up said it. And it's on Facebook, so I can say it. I don't know, I can't remember his name, but he's like, if it wasn't for Quack, I would have ended my life. So, finally it's, Chikara's been on the local news and everything a couple times, and made it its way into Sports Illustrated on their website. But now I'm glad to see that they're finally getting even a broader band of exposure.
Right.
And I hope it goes even further. And I hope they bring companies like Excellence with them, because Excellence Pro, I think they're great. And I would like to see other companies like AIW, like AAW, companies like that. I would love to see, even more exposure.
It's always a good thing.
Yep, it's always good to expose yourself.
Yes, it is. And on that note, Mabo, always a pleasure, brother. Folks, we're going to take it to the top of the hour break when yours truly returns on Back to Basics. God, I almost sounded like Jeff Foxworthy for a second there. Shoot me now. I'm going to be joined by by occasional co-host Phil Stamper. The Phenom will be here on Back to Basics right after this.